Before I begin speaking about how the American experience proves that the people who are trying to separate the church from the state under the pretense of separating the hierarchy from the state, and that is in the Constitution, and they're still around, they're descendants and people who see it their way, are also trying to separate Christian morality, and the American experience proves it when you look around. Okay, recently I've lost some weight, going back and forth to Santa Cruz, being harassed by the police and everything else, and a lot of people in mental health in institutions, the victims, not the oppressor staff, the staff, right? The staff of the snake, they're also snakes. We'll get to that in a second, where Jesus refers to snakes, and a lot of good people do as well, as evil, and these white people play with snakes and their little pictures and so on. First, I want to just briefly touch on the problems I have when I wake up in the morning, so you understand my behavior and you hate mental health as much as I do for what they're doing. I wake up hungry, hurting inside, brokenhearted because of the environment my parents chose to not only move, but move 40 horses into under the pretense of my mom having asthma. Whenever I'm about to leave, they tend to leave at the same time and expect me to step to the side, which is fine. But they don't consider everything else that goes on as well. So it becomes a form of disrespect, them disrespecting me instead of me respecting them. Unless you're an idiot, you would see it that way. And I hear liars in mental health who take their side because they have vested interests, saying obscene, really, things such as, it's sad that you see it that way. It's like, I'm smarter than you, and everything shows that mind, body, and soul is superior. And you are stupid and evil, but you're telling me it's a shame that the wise Christian black top martial artist with 175 IQ sees it that way and not your mediocre, privileged class, cheating, treachery, crony capitalist way. That is the true tragedy, you stupid bitch. Now, Matthew 8:26, Matthew 23:33, Matthew 10:22 that I always cite, Matthew 15:24, 1 John 3:10, John 8:44 all prove my point. Matthew 10:22 says you will be hated by everyone because of me. Why? Because they have a snake philosophy. Matthew 8:26 talks about men of little faith, I believe. 23:33, I was in a hurry again because I can't even brush my teeth with regular water. I have to go out and get drinking water that they drug. I have to go out and get breakfast in the morning at 7:49, and I've done a lot of cleaning, basic exercising, shower, brushing my teeth, securing water to do so. I've sacrificed things like drinking clear water. I forgot the computer. Fuck! See, and there's this. Okay, I'm gonna leave this video up as it is so you understand my behavior, and it's gonna be annoying. I'm sorry. Listen. Again, give us the teachings of His Majesty, the bloodline. Now stop right there. They say, well, he's talking about Haile Selassie or Jesus, right? No, the Son of Man, the Son of God. Listen, you liberals, listen. Our lion. Stop right there. What does he say next? Top ranking, he's putting them in their place. It runs through our lion. And the heart, I closed it early, sorry, I'm gonna shut this down. Because I know it's making that noise, background noise. Hold on, I have to put this down, shut it down. You see, the order of operation, and wait till it shuts down. So I was making that loud noise. That can be a sign of a computer getting old. Also, hacking software and hardware can cause that noise theoretically. But when you're in my shoes, you know it's because they're hacking and their programs they're using are still, closing. Kind of like when you don't close Notepad or something. Okay. So he says, oh, you men of little faith. For example, 1 John 3:10. Now remember, all this stuff I'm going through, right? The printer, the way the house is arranged. Ask my brothers. When we cleaned the closet in the hallway, my mom was upset. Not only not only does that show you that I'm right, it also has a psychological effect every time I try to clean. Then I have a bunch of people looking at me like, why is your house in disarray? Why don't you help them? Maybe you're crazy too. The same reason my grandma was told to stay out of the kitchen. And my mom happened to be right with my grandma, but wrong with me, because she doesn't want to admit that their way of doing things led to the dilapidated household in the middle of nowhere with the 40 horses, with the dust. Ironically, right now my nose is pretty haunted. So then there's a dirt road that makes my car dirty, so I have to take extra time to scrub. Remember, the water's a problem, and it's bad, and there's not much of it. We have a well. We have to order water shipments. So it messes my head just to wash my car at home. And part of this reason the sunroof might be messed up is all the time I've gone through the car wash, hitting the sunroof. So now that might be it. It might be the gunk that built up from being out here. You see how it always goes back to the environment, and they don't want to consider it at all when they're considering your behavior. They're just saying, what are the behaviors? You see what I mean? My style is messed up. I look sickly. I'm hungry. You know, it affects my mind and my overall well-being. Again, they say take these drugs that further break down your body and kill your appetite, or make you have an overactive appetite and make you big, fat, and stupid. Okay? Think about it this way. There's a bunch of midgets, Tupac guys, and Suge Knights. Okay? What would the Northern Europeans say? Whoa, you know, we're tall. What are the Southern Europeans? Short. The people who unite everybody, telling people to meet you halfway, let them, bend over, let them fuck you in your ass, telling people to do psych ops showing half their ass. They're like, look, we want you to help us with our Greco-Roman gay psyops, but we don't want you to show all your ass. Ask Nappy Head Dreads. He has countless footage, and I don't sink to that level of people showing half their ass. And they have their headlight. One light is off, so you go like this. This is like going like this, right? It's saying it's because you're talking. The way you're talking is wrong. You should be talking the way we want you to talk, like this, not like. So when you go like this, right, one headlight. You see what I'm saying? Of course, it also represents one eye. It says your perspective and your lens is off. We want you to correct it using our technology and our philosophy. There's many ways you can take it, and it is them harassing you about how you see things. So Jesus says, you men of little faith who are afraid. Again, the childish traits of the New World Order are based on African philosophy, Christian morality, and just common human sense, and insight. Okay, they're scared. They're cowards. He said to people who were trying to be Christians, "O ye men of little faith," he says, don't be of little faith. You have to be all the way in, right? And he said, you're afraid. You're cowards with little faith. You have no heart. Like the police, like the military, right? You're all muscle and technology and no heart. Like Paris said, hip-hop has become all muscles and tits. Why? Because they're Greco-Roman wrestlers who were expelled because they couldn't fight with percussive skills in the first place. That's why Macacao beat Coda. I believe what was his name? Soda. Coda Soda. Was his nickname, his fighting name, right? Or something like that. The Japanese jiu-jitsu guy on page 182. Again, because of everything going on, I can't even finish my sandwich. I have to worry about brushing my teeth again. I smoke weed. You can imagine, I have to keep my toothpaste and my toothbrush in my room or they'll get. Listen carefully. That's the sound of me shaking the water bottle. I have to keep it in my room under multiple cameras. And some of them the big brother uses to watch me because it's connected to the internet. And some are connected to different ways, and they have control of these things, right? So they can shut them down, make them glitch. They can shut down the power with PG&E anytime they want, and they make that clear. John 8:44 says, you belong to your father, the devil. You want to carry out your father's desire. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth. Again, I can't read the rest. A liar and the father of lies. Why? Because they're trying to make it seem like I'm taking it out of context. When they're sabotaging me, again, your printer is hooked up to your computer, which is hooked up to the internet. You can imagine how that plays out and how they can harass you using that as well. And that a hacker in fucking junior high could figure that out in less than a week, if you get my drift. He goes on to say, a liar and the father of lies. They want you to live a lie, to be a man of little faith, a moderate, and to respect these little guys Little Cupid guys and big fat Buddha guys. Don't fat shame the bull, right? Don't slut shame the wolf, a liar. And I'm going to eat you because you're trying to live peacefully and in the truth, right? The snake, a liar as well. A great liar. The dragon, the greatest liar. So the Viking is the far dark spectrum. You know what the Vikings represent. Not all white people, not all Nordic, not all Scandinavian, not all Scottish. I'm part Scottish. But in religion and truth, they represent the lying, murderous psychopath with no morality. And the African represents the light, they were cultured. They were made as God intended. When you left the land, which was sacred, the light didn't hit you the same way. So when you weren't made the image of God. So black man isn't just the original. He was made the way God intended, where God put him in the Garden of Eden. Osiris marks the spot. Not the Johnny-come-latelys, the spiritual have-nots, but the financial have-nots, the material have-nots. We don't have money. We have soul. We're soul brothers. They have money. They're white devils. Thank you.